So everybody is talking about NLP currently. So let's understand today what is NLP, how it is going to help you, your employees, your family, everybody around you to lead a better life, a better career, to progress, prosper in business, to improve your relationships. So everything around NLP, I'm going to explain in this session. So let me share the screen. Now, if you see here, so basically NLP helps you to change your current state, right? We all have a current state of mind. And if you want to change your life, for better, obviously you need to change your current state, right? You need to move from the current state to a new state. Now, what is the current state? The current state is a combination of 80 billion neurons and 60 trillion cells. Basically, the state involves the cells, the physicality, and the neurons, the mind, the mental or the mind aspect, right? So combination of these two basically forms the state. And there are two kinds of states. One is a positive or the resourceful state, which include happiness, joy, confidence, certainty, good health, love. Now, this is a state we have to be, or we want to be always in as a human being. This is a desired state. Unfortunately, most of the time, a lot of people are in the undesired state, or the negative or the unresourceful state. So what that basically is, it is a stuck state, right? It's where you're stuck in life or in career or in business. You're suffering because of your health issues, relationship issues. You're not able to progress. You're not able to make money. You're not able to attract wealth, right? So there are a lot of conflicts. It's an unresolved state as well, unfinished agendas, bad memories. You have a lot of bad memories, a lot of patterns, negative patterns, which keep repeating in your life. So tragedies keep happening. So idea of NLP is to move from from negative state to the positive state, or unresourceful state to the resourceful state. Right, so that's the whole purpose of life, right? As a human beings, we always desire to move from the present state to a better state. Now, this basically explains everything. If you see, this slide basically explains everything what you need to know. Now, if you see here, event one. So whatever we have in our mind, the experiences in mind is a combination of three things, right? The mind basically stores all the memories, experiences, feelings, right? Everything in the form of three things. One is a picture, which we call it as visual. The second one is auditory, which is words, what we hear. Third one is kinesthetic, so what you feel. So our experience basically is a combination of pictures, words, and then feelings. Yes, so there is also smell and taste involved, but predominantly it is basically combination of pictures, words, and feelings. Now what happens is our mind always deletes, distorts, and generalizes certain things, and then based on that our current state is formed. What is current state? Current state is basically your internal world, your subconscious current state. Now how that is formed, as I said, what we have seen, what we have heard, what we have experienced in the last so many years of our life, after our mind deleted, distorted, and generalized a lot of things, become our current state. Now whatever is our current state, right, depending on that we act, both verbally and non-verbally, and our action determines our results, which is both positive and negative, and finally that becomes your life or destiny. Now, if currently your life is not as per the desire, as per your desire, right, that means you need to change your current state, which is your internal state, or E2, as we say in NLP. Now, how do I change it? Now, that's a question, right? Now, for that, before I explain you that, let me just share a few things. Now, there are 4 simple stages of life, right? Which is basically mental stages. Now, most of the people are stuck in the state 1, especially in the last couple of years due to Corona. Now, what is happening is people are stuck in their life. It can be in in their career, it can be in business, it can be relationships, personal lives, whatever may be. Now, when normally people get stuck, they get into a habit of victimhood. They start playing victim. which is also known as a helplessness state. Now here what happens is they held or hold everybody else in their life responsible for their failures or their miseries or struggles. Right? So they never accept that the current state in which I am there is because of me. So except themselves, they blame everybody else. They blame the situation. They even sometimes go to the extent of blaming God, right? And they don't know how to come out of it. They are stuck. They don't know how to come out of it. They are just blaming everybody. The unfortunate thing about this state is they, even accidentally they come across something good in their life, their mind is not able to accept it. They are forced to go back to something negative so that they start playing victimhood again. So this is a very, very dangerous state, right? You are not able to accept anything good happening in your life. You're always, searching for something negative so that you can latch onto it and then start playing victimhood. They started loving the self-pityness, So this is a very, very dangerous state. The second state is awareness stage. So where at least here the person is aware, right? That I need to take action. So they take action instead of blaming everybody and the situations, they start working on themselves, they start getting the results. Definitely better than the first stage. But unfortunately here also what is happening is they are always looking for validation from others, from external sources, from society. So when the validation is not as per their expectation, right? When they are expecting everybody to come and give a pat on their back and say you're doing good, but that doesn't happen. And they start comparing themselves with others. As we know, comparison kills, right? Somebody is, let's say, getting a salary of 1 lakh rupee. The moment he sees somebody else in the same position getting more salary, better salary, higher salary, then he starts cribbing, right? So that's a problem, right, in this stage. So it's a better state compared to the state one or stage one, but still mentally most of the time they are not happy because they are looking for validation from external sources, comparison, right? The third stage, right, is known as a surrender stage. Now this is the best stage as far as people like you and me are concerned. Here, more than concentrating on the end result, the person is enjoying the process itself. They have surrendered their life to a higher cause or to an inner or a higher power. They are just doing their job. They are not expecting anything. They are not looking for any external validation. So they are enjoying the process. This stage is also known as flow state, right? So when you move from victimhood to awareness and finally flow state or stage, right? So you'll be very happy in this state because you're not looking for any comparisons, not looking for any validation from others, from outsiders. No ego, neither they take the success to their head nor failure to their heart. They just leave everything to a higher force or inner force, or their entire life is surrendered to achieving a higher purpose. So this is a beautiful state. You are always cool, calm, relaxed, enjoying everything what you want in your life, right? This is a state, as I said, we should be desiring, right, for you and me. And finally, the awakening, which is not for you and me, at least at this stage, because this is a stage where you're not even looking for achieving anything. Everything is about salvation, as moksha, as we say. Basically they are trying to connect themselves to a higher world, higher forces. Most of the time they are isolated, secluded, doing meditations and certain practices alone in some remote areas, secluded places, right? Now these are the 4 states. Now this is the most important aspect of NLP. If only you ensure that you align these 7 things as per, as I say, neurological alignment process, believe me, your life will change. This is like literally the foundation of NLP. First of all, let's start from purpose. Purpose is something higher, larger. Do you have a purpose in your life? Just ask yourself. Most of the people may not have, that's fine. But at least do you have a goal? Do you have a short-term goal of, let's say, a month, or a 3 months, or a 6 months, or a year, or a 2-year, 3-year goal? If no, you need to have a purpose or a goal for yourself. In NLP, we scientifically help you to identify a goal or a purpose for yourself. Once you set a goal or identify your purpose, then you need to do something called as identity. Now, what is identity? Now, this is very important. If you just close your eyes and think of yourself as a person, how are you identifying yourself? Are you identifying yourself as somebody who is successful, who is rich and famous, who is there, leading a purpose in life, or somebody who is just struggling, who don't know what he or she is doing, lost in the crowd? The moment you close your eyes and ask this question, you will literally get an awakening moment of your life. So, whatever you identify yourself as inside your mind, same thing is going to happen to you in reality in the outside world. So, it is very important that your identity is perfect, right? NLP helps you to do that. In line with your purpose and identity, do you have your values? Let me give an example. Is money a value in your life? Now, a lot of people are not able to attract money in their life. And when we do this exercise, we came to know, we understand that money is something which they are not valuing at all. On the contrary, they have a very, very negative belief about money. It's like you are always abusing your neighbor or somebody and you expect him or her to come and help you. That's never going to happen, right? So, first, you need to have money as an important value of your life. And once that happens, your subconscious belief about money has to change. If you are someone who is always blaming money, that money is not good, money will corrupt me, I don't need too much of money, right? And then expect a lot of money in your life, that's not going to happen. You need to first change your belief about money. You need to have money as an important value of your life. Like this, we are going to set values. Accordingly, we are going to change your subconscious beliefs, right? And then capabilities, skills, behavior, environment. So all these things we are going to align. Like unless all the four wheels of a four-wheeler are aligned, you will never have a smooth drive, right? You are bound to meet with accidents. Similarly, if these seven aspects are not aligned neurologically, as I just explained, you will definitely are going to struggle in life. So we are going to do it in the most scientific way in NLP, right? We call it as neurological alignment. Now, there are certain presuppositions. I will just cover one or two here. Map is not the territory. Our perception is not projection. Let me just explain how it is going to help you lead a better life, right? Mentally. Now, a lot of times, people will come and disturb you, trouble you by just taunting you, by saying few things. And what happens? You react. You start hating that person, right? Or you give it back. So then what happens? Mentally, you are, and emotionally, you are getting drained. Simple. Just use this presupposition. It basically says when somebody tells something about you, it is that person's opinion about you and not the reality about you. Just ensure that this sinks into your subconscious, and then you start practicing it, because you can't stop people from talking whatever they want about you. But the only thing you have control on is controlling your own emotions. So this presupposition basically helps you do that. When somebody tells you something, just say, it is your opinion, I respect it, keep it with you, thank you, and I am not going to be affected by it, because it is not the reality. I know what is reality about myself, right? Just one more presupposition. There is always a positive intention behind every behavior. Now, a lot of times, especially in companies, I have experienced this a lot of times. Let's say there are 4 or 5 people in the team. One gets promotion and others feel let down, right? So, simple. Use this presupposition. Whatever may be the reason, why it happened, or let's say somebody is misbehaving with you, somebody is not treating you well. Instead of always finding the reason why somebody is doing it and taking it negatively, just use this presupposition. There is always a positive intention behind every behavior. Identify that reason why that person is behaving like the way he is behaving with you. Try to find that positive reason, and then instead of blaming that person, maybe you will start empathizing with that person. You may feel like helping that person because he needs your help, right? So, like this, a lot of presupposition which will help us to change our perception, the way we live, the way we see the world. Now, there is something called as anchoring, which is a very important part of NLP. Now, you must have seen a lot of salespeople. using it, heard, if not, let me just explain. Before that, let me just give example of sportsman. If you see MS Dhoni, he always removes the gloves couple of times and puts it back before he faces the next ball. Virat Kohli has anchor of, rotating his bat couple of times. If you see Malinga used to kiss the ball before he bowls. Similarly, every athlete, sportsman, they have an anchor. They do something. Basically, anchor is something which will take you back to the best state. First of all, why do you need an anchor? Before you do something important, before you get into execution mode, if you already had installed an anchor, just ensure that you fire that anchor, use that anchor so that you get in the best state of mind. When Virat Kohli rotates his bat couple of times before he faces the next one, basically he puts him to the right state of mind, the best state of mind, which he would have used earlier, right? Basically that helps him to play the next ball as per the merit of the ball. So similarly in NLP we can install consciously anchors in you. Let's say if you're a salesman, before meeting the customer, if you have an anchor, just use that anchor and then meet the customer. You will ensure that you do your best with that customer, right? So we can have similarly anchors for every aspect of our life. You can install as many anchors as you want. Similarly, if you have already some anchors, you can collapse it as well. You can remove them as well. So this is one more part of NLP. Now, if you are somebody who is suffering from anxiety, there are techniques which will help you to overcome anxiety. Permanently, we can actually do away with it, right? There are many techniques. Similarly, if you are someone who is not able to sleep adequately, because of which you are facing a lot of problems in your life, so NLP helps you to master that as well, right? How to sleep peacefully and adequately. Allergy. If you are somebody who is suffering from any pattern of allergy, we can also help you to get rid of that as well, right? Now let's come to the most important part, which is very important for all of us: money blueprint, right? Now, as I said earlier, if you're someone who is not valuing money, and if your subconscious belief is that you are not a rich guy, or you don't need too much of money, then you will never be able to attract money. But the beauty about NLP is NLP can help you to change that subconscious belief. You can actually start valuing money in your life. And once that happens, nobody can stop you from attracting as much wealth, as much money into your life. So like this, so NLP is such a deeper subject, right from, as I said, setting your neurological alignment in order, in compatibility with each other, to taking care of your health issues, relationship issues, money issues. Everything else can be actually sorted out with NLP. That is why it is such a highly talked subject currently, because last couple of years, a lot of people have suffered mentally. Their subconscious pattern had completely gone negative. The beliefs has completely gone negative. And no other subject will help you to change your subconscious beliefs except NLP, right? So as I said, if you're looking for someone who can help you coach one-on-one or in a group, or if you are someone who wants to give this training to your employees so that your entire set of employees, their belief system is completely retuned, rewired, so that there is more harmony, there is more positivity, more productivity. Okay? So this basically was an idea, right? Was an attempt to basically give an idea about what is NLP. So rest, we will do it practically using a lot of techniques. As I said, this is a quite in-depth subject, and it needs a lot of time, personal time, one-on-one time, and we will do it.